Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. Happy Tuesday. Yes, we did take a small intermission yesterday just to keep the normal Monday going. And today we are going off of Sunday's die roll, which means Supreme King Jaden won today's pick. Now, this deck, like the others, can sort of use both skills. So, using the structure means we need to be using Ruthless Means. And the way that this skill is, both of them actually are flip over when you activate this skill card. This one says once per duel during the main phase, if you control an evil hero monster card, you may discard one card to make one face-up monster that the opponent controls lose attack equal to its own defense, or lose defense equal to its own attack. Now, generally speaking, this can be quite devastating and can really put a beat down on the opponent, which I guess is why this one is the main skill for the structure deck. Now, we can also use the skill Dark Unity, but we are not using Super Polymerization in the main deck, and we are not building sideboards for any of these 3x builds, so this one will lack a little bit. This skill would allow you to use Super Polymerization to fusion summon monsters that could normally only use Dark Fusion, and each of the following skills would be usable once per duel, which is what we would be focused on. So one of those is lose 2,000 life points, change the type of one special summon monster that the opponent controls to rock. And of course, this allows us to go into Dark Gaia. Or we could discard a card, then add one Dark Fusion from the deck to the hand. Now that portion of Dark Unity we can use in this build. So do keep that in mind. Both skills technically viable, but in order to do the 3x challenge, it needs to be Ruthless Means. So let's get into the deck, and then we'll talk over the extra deck. So first and foremost, we're going to be using 2 copies Evil Hero Gainer. During the main phase, you may banish this on the field, target a Fiend that you control. That target may make a second attack during every battle phase while you control it face up. They say this because Book of Moon's a thing. And also when it goes face down, flips up, it would technically be a new monster. Once per turn, during the second standby phase after this card is banished, to activate this effect, you may special summon this card back in attack position. Generally speaking, you should never be able to get Gainer back. You should have gone for game in that time. Next up, we're going to be using 2 copies of the Evil Hero Infernal Prodigy. Now, Prodigy is going to board himself faster. If you control no monsters, you may special summon this from the hand in attack. Once per turn during the end phase, if this was tributed this turn to tribute summon a hero, draw 1 card. Now, we do this. This is the setup for our next monster. The draw is just some extra icing on our cake. We really just want to be able to play Malicious Edge. Now, Malicious Edge is a 7-star, but if the opponent controls the monster, we can tribute this for 1 tribute instead, meaning that we can go Prodigy to Malicious just fine. If this attacks defense, inflict piercing. Basically, Dark Blade Edge. Next up, we did include 3 sand moths. And right here should be the moment where you realize I excluded the base elemental heroes and it went pure evil. And honestly, this really has like 2 builds that you can do. Guys, I went with what I thought was stronger. Because again, Supreme King Jaden. So we went with the Sand Moth. It's great. It lets us set and pass, and it punishes our opponents because a lot of people have been shying away from Cross Out and moving to Shield Crush. Shield Crush, having a destroy send to graveyard effect, will backfire with Sand Moth. So if this face down card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, special summon it, switching its attack and defense, allowing us to bring it back as a 2k beater. Also, counting as our rock for the Dark Gaia. So again, it's just, in my opinion, a better set pass / make them go back to playing Cross Out instead of the Shield Crush. Because again, Shield Crush is kind of good. People might be looking at the Dark World Lightning right now. Again, that would destroy it and send it. We might as well foil the plan and bring it back. And then last up, 2 copies of Versago the Destroyer. Couple things going for him. 1, he's a Fiend. Second, he's a fusion substitution. I'm going to go over this more when we get to the extra deck. So going to our spells, and I'm going to talk about these two out of order. So we have Dark Calling and Dark Fusion. Now, Dark Fusion is going to be our polymerization for Fiend type fusion monsters. And this is generically across the board. If there are other Fiend fusions you guys want to play, Dark Fusion is definitely usable for that. Keep that in mind. Secondly, the opponent cannot target that monster with card effects during the turn that you play it. So Torrential, Trap Hole, Bottomless Trap Hole, any of these things, anything that would target though, cannot happen. Book of Moon cannot happen. Defusion cannot happen. So Dark Fusion also has like a built-in protection. Dark Calling is going to be essentially the, and of course, you know, you'd think I would just remember, it is the Dark Hero, the Evil Hero variant of, oh my goodness, I had it again, Miracle Fusion. So we can use the materials from field and or discard, banishing them to summon another copy. This time, however, they have to be listed as needing Dark Fusion, which again is just evil heroes at this point. So again, what we can do is fuse once, fuse twice, 2 copies, same fusion monster, go for some big damage. Okay, next up, 3 copies of the spell card Evil Mind. And again, this is just great. If you control a Fiend, activate one of the following based on the number of monsters in the opponent's graveyard. And again, this does not have to be in an evil hero deck. Okay, just because Inferno Wings on the card does not mean it's archetyped. Okay, if you control a Fiend monster, if it's at least 1 monster, you get to draw a card. If it's at least 4, you could choose to add a hero or Dark Fusion from deck to hand. If it's 10 or more, 1 polymerization spell or fusion spell from deck to hand, only activating 1 of these per turn. And again, we're basically looking for the draw 1 as our minimum effect. Anything else is just, again, icing on the cake. And then last up, we are using some Windstorms of Itaqua. And for the Sharp of Eye, you will notice these are the originals from way back when. Duelists of Tomorrow should have been the My Structure deck. Because again, I'm just keeping my originals. And it's just, you know, kind of keeping the extras as extras. So that is the main deck. What are we using in the extra deck? Well, because of the way we set it up, we can only use Dark Gaia and Malicious Fiend. So let's talk about Dark Gaia. It is Fiend plus Rock, must be Dark Fusion. Original attack becomes combined original of materials used. So again, I think the best we can do is 1,000 for the Rock, or 2K if we got the Staff Lip, with a 26 on Malicious. So we're talking like 36. Or I think the weakest would be with Versago for 21. And then what's going to happen when this card attacks? You change all defense monsters the opponent controls to face-up attack. Flip effects are not activated. And you just go ahead and you could double bust if you did the Fusion Calling. Now, what's really cool is when we're using the Malicious Fiends. It is Malicious Edge plus level 6 or higher Fiend. So Versago as Malicious plus Malicious or plus, Dark Gaia. Maybe this would have been a stronger play. Must be fusion summoned with a Dark Fusion. During the opponent's battle phase, all monsters that they control are changed to face-up attack, and they must attack this card if able. This guy starts at a whopping 3,500. Okay? Just total BA boss monster. It's amazing. This is a really good build. This gets better when we drop the 3 times pretense. So when we revisit this, we will be using both variants. We will have variants where we are using the mainline evil heroes and where we are just using these evil heroes. So again, look for that in the future. This is going to be really fun. I hope that you guys enjoyed this today. If you want to support us, like, comment, sub. If you guys want to give us a little bit of direct, the Buy Me a Coffee is down in the link. Let's roll for tomorrow's deck. Now, we've already done Jaden, we did Camilla, we did Kagamaru. Mokuba, this is for you. I didn't want you to have to pause the video and refer back to your playmat. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our D6. We're going to grab a different one this time. And it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 is my choice. Or sorry, 6 will be my choice. 4, we're going to be doing Amnail next. So if you guys want to see that, tune in again tomorrow. And until then, see you guys later. Peace.